Record on the. Welcome to our vision board party 2023, and we're going to get ready for 2024. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Yay. My name is Barbie Kalev. I have been a body partner for 16 years and 3 months. I started vision boarding the year that I actually became, we were called coaches. I started vision boarding the year that I became a coach, and I didn't follow any kind of system. I didn't know what I was doing. However, just by having my physical vision board against the window with clear things and items and feelings that I wanted to experience, that was the same year that I decided to go all in my body business. And I saw everything on the vision board come into fruition. And this is why I'm so excited to be the one that gets to present this to you and to finish off the year together with a vision board. So today is more of a training. It's going to be short and sweet. I'm estimating about 25 minutes and less of a workshop, so that as soon as we're done, you can actually get to fun work. I don't want to call it work, but you can get to contemplating, you can get to thinking, you can get to feeling about what it is that you actually want to create in 2024. So, do vision boards work? That's the question. I gave you my little anecdotal story of how I saw my vision board come to life. There was this one year that when I was going for top 10 as a coach, I didn't even know that the trip was to Tahiti, and I had put something like the Fiji Islands as a dream, and somehow I wound up in Tahiti and it looked just like the picture. So, do vision boards work? I want to talk about, before we begin this actual thinking and activities, I want to talk just for a few minutes about how our subconscious mind works. When, even before we are born, all the research actually supports this, we're being programmed. So we're being programmed by our parents, obviously, by our mother who is carrying us in our womb, by the environment. And when we are born into this world, we already come as little programmed beings, and we record everything that we hear, everything that we see around us, just like a recording device, just like a sponge. It filters nothing out. And by the age of around 7 years old, the subconscious becomes crystallized. So, of course, we continue to learn and we continue to become impressionable, but we're basically walking around as adults with outdated programming that has happened in the very early part of our lives. And again, the programming and the learning continues as we age until the time that we die. But when we want to change, and this is why vision boards are so important, when we want to create new habits in our lives, when we want to realize dreams, when we want to create something new, we are using old programming, we're using old neural pathways, and that's why it's so important to create new pathways. We just finished Christmas, and my mom was in town with my brother, my sister-in-law, and their dog, and I noticed how old patterns just came up, and of course, right? And I noticed just how much, and I adore my mom, so this is not a criticism. This is really just to underline or to underscore, to highlight how we pass on things generationally. And so I noticed how my mom would talk about money every 5 minutes, how there wasn't enough money, how things were too expensive. I had some gluten, and we don't struggle financially at all in our household, meaning myself and my husband. And so I had some gluten one of the days that they were here. And so I felt a little bit dizzy the following day. It really affects me. And I said, Mom, we're going to go and take an Uber. We're not going to go ahead and drive because I'm feeling a little bit dizzy. And then a few hours later, she's like, are you sure? Like, you shouldn't drive. I said, why? And she said, because it's Uber and it's a lot of money and I don't want you to spend the money. And so I just noticed how these money stories get passed on from generation to generation. And so if we want something different from for ourselves, if we want to break generational curses for ourselves and our family, this is how, I just got goosebumps. This is how we do it. We can reprogram our subconscious through vision boarding. The subconscious mind is so receptive to visual imagery. So anything having to do with the senses. So it can be whatever the five senses are, but one of them, of course, is vision. And so vision boarding actually really works. It's the presence of the images that you see on a repeated basis that set the mind to work. So you have something called the reticular activating system. And when the reticular activating system acts as a filter. So when you set your mind to something, let's say that on your vision board is a family vacation to Iceland. I would love to go to Iceland. That is on my vision board for 2024. And so all of a sudden, and the reason that I want to go to Iceland is because I want to see the beautiful northern lights, which are green. And so I've already instructed my subconscious mind that that is my desire. And so now I've noticed that everywhere I look, I see the color green. And so that is such a beautiful thing because when you instruct your mind that you have a desire, your reticular activating system acts as a filter and it gets to work in creating that reality for you. And I'm having so much fun with I haven't created my vision board yet, but I watch videos about Iceland and I know that this visual imagery is making its way, doing its magic so that it's going to become a reality in 2024. This is something that you'll be able to do with all of your dreams and desires that you're going to create a vision board for. Okay, so should we set goals is the question. I hear a lot of people say things like, I just want my life to be better, or I just want to be happy, or they say things like, I just feel a block, but I'm not really sure what it is. And that's perfectly fine if you want to just kind of wing life. But if you're a body partner, I'm guessing that you have goals for your family. This is not just a hobby. And even if it is a hobby, I want you, and we all want you to also make an income helping other people. And so goals are actually important. I love the quote from Alice in Wonderland. There's this passage where Alice asks, would you tell me please which way I ought to go from here? And the cat said, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. And Alice said, I don't much care where, said Alice. Then it doesn't matter which way you go, said the cat, so long as I get somewhere, added Alice as an explanation. So we don't want to be like Alice, right? Just kind of like, okay, we'll get to wherever we get to. Saying things like, I just want my life to be better. I just want to be happy. I just want to have success as a body partner. All of that just is very vague. What does it look like for you to be happy? And this is one of the intentions, one of the goals for today's training. we want to set goals so that we have clarity. What is it that we want in each area of our lives? We're going to set goals, we're going to set intentions. And then from there, you have the freedom to create the beautiful and delicious life that you want. So, who's ready to get started with setting actual goals? Can I get some excitement? Yes, I feel it. I feel the smiles. Okay. Before you actually start saying, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this in 2024, one of the things that I invite you to do is to take a look at 2023 and make a list. It could be 5 things. I assure you that at first you might be like, wait a second, I don't know. But I want you to just sit. And this is why this is a training and not a workshop, because we're going to keep moving on. But make a list of 10 moments, 10 moments, 10 experiences, 10 achievements, 10 things that have brought you joy, that made you proud, that made you smile, or I'm going to add here, that taught you a valuable lesson. Okay, there we go. And why do I write that? Why did I just add that? One of the things, when I actually did this exercise, I did do this exercise, even though I haven't created my vision board just yet, I realized that one of the most important things that happened in 2023 for me was I actually had a quote unquote friend who broke up with me, because she, and this is not gossipy or anything like this, it was just somebody that I knew, and she just decided that we weren't a good fit as friends because I wasn't as available as she wanted me to be. So she actually wanted to see me more than I actually desired. And so, I tried to explain and I tried to say, but like, listen, I just don't have the energy capacity or the personality or the desire to hang out every week or whatever. And she was like, nope, it's over. And based on that experience, I realized that I was, I was doing things out of obligation in my life. There were a lot of things. That wasn't the only thing that was out of obligation. And by having this friend break up with me, I felt so much more energy. And that was a giant permission slip for me to let go of other things that were weighing me down. Not only other relationships, but also other things that just felt like obligation. So with that extra energy, I was able, physical, I mean, I'm talking about real physical energy. Like all of a sudden, when I cut those cords, I was able to experience more life force. And I was able to use that life force to create other things and to just, even just to be, I just felt more joy being free. So once you have your list of 10 moments, experiences, achievements, events that brought you joy or that taught you lessons, you're going to look at that list and you're going to write down, was it related to being? Was it related to, so who you are? Was it related to doing something, like you took a trip somewhere, for example? Was it related to a goal? Maybe you became a diamond coach or 5-star diamond coach. And was it related to having something? I find that in traditional goal setting, there's a lot of focus just in the matrix, as I call it. I find that in traditional goal setting, there's a lot of focus on the doing and the having, right? I want to be a 5-star diamond partner. I want to have or make X amount of dollars. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what we actually want is the experience. So you want the money so that you can experience freedom. so that you can experience more room to breathe, so that you can experience being proud of yourself, so that you can experience what it is like. Ooh, see, this is, I don't know if it does that for you, but it just excited me, right? Like the money's, it's fun to make money. It's fun to achieve goals. Absolutely. But for me, saying like, ooh, I want to experience being proud of myself. I want to experience feeling this. I want to experience, oh, see, I get goosebumps. I want to experience the smile on my husband's face or my children's face or whatever. And so next to all of these activities, go ahead and write down, was it about being? Who did you have to be? I just finished making a story on Instagram saying like the biggest thing that held me back in 16 years, even though I've had incredible and unusual success in this business and in life, the biggest thing that held me back was the belief, a limiting belief about myself. I didn't realize that I was capable of so much more. And so that has to do with being and nothing to do, not nothing, but it doesn't have to do something with like having a tangible thing. It's more like once I realize that, wow, I can be whoever I want to be, I can step into that person, then I can do and I could have anything that I want. And the same thing is true for you. Okay. So today we're going to set goals that are in alignment with who you truly are. Traditional goal setting exercises, this is just what I said, they place so much of the focus on the doing, on the achieving, on making things happen. And you see memes on social media, like, you know, manifest that shit, right? And things like that. And everybody gets 10,000 likes. But there isn't so much room for being, for allowing, for becoming. And that's the stuff that makes life rich and that makes the actual achievement of the goals so meaningful. What does it mean to be in alignment? It means that when it's just like a car. When something's wrong with the car or when your back is out, you're just not functioning properly. You just can't drive properly. And if you ever go to the chiropractor or whatever therapy kind of thing that you might get, modality that you might use, like it could be acupuncture, you're just like, oh, this feels so right. And that's exactly what it feels like to live your life in alignment. That's what it feels like to pursue goals that are coming from your soul, that are meant for you, that benefit the whole, and not just, I'm achieving this because this is what society says that I should achieve, or I'm achieving this because this is what my sponsor says I should achieve. You're achieving this and you're setting these goals because they would truly make you happy. They would truly make of you a better person. And because they set your soul on fire. To me, it's that simple. That's alignment. And when you live in alignment, things just flow. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be challenged. That doesn't mean you're not going to be tired. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you have an easier time. I do believe that. And it's just richer and more funner. I know that's not correct English. Okay, so some of the guidelines before we get to goal setting is number one, set goals that you can grow into. And you're welcome to have this PDF slide thing. So if you're taking notes, great, but I'm going to post this PDF Canva for you guys. I find that a lot of times, and I've seen this very much in body, people set the same goals each year, or they set these goals that are very small. So if it's December now, and they're like, I'm going to be diamond by the end of 2025, I know that you can do more in that time. And so really, really think about what is it that you desire? And what is this diamond thing going to get you? Like, what is it that you want to experience in your life? Is it $500 a week? Is it a little bit more, income to have dinner with your family and go to the restaurant? Is it community? Just before you set the goal, make sure that it's big enough and not so tiny that you can achieve it next week. Number two, as you're setting your goals, set your limiting beliefs aside for this exercise. So I know that when people are setting goals, a lot of times they're like, yeah, but this, but yeah, but that, yeah, but that. Stop. Not for this exercise. You'll have all year to work on your limiting beliefs. But this is not the time to stop yourself from dreaming. You want to dream. Number three, write your goals. Once you have your goals and you're writing them down, write them in the first person present. So I am blank. It could be, I visit my mother, my grandmother 3 times in 2024. I make X amount of income through Beachbody in 2024. We visit Disney in May of 2024. Okay. Not in the future, because for whatever reason, it has to do with the mind. The mind, when you set it in the future, then the mind is always putting it out further in the future. Now, all the gurus will tell you this, so I'm not repeating anything new with that. The fourth guideline in setting goals is you get to decide if you want to set a strict timeline. Now, if you would have asked me last year, I was a little bit on like the other extreme, and I would be like, no timeline. And now I've changed my mind and I've gone in the middle route. So I used to be very strict with my timelines. It's like, I've got to achieve this goal by this date. And the problem that I had with that was not actually the timeline. It was the beating up of oneself if you didn't achieve the goal. So let's say that you have a goal to be a 2-star diamond partner, or 5-star, or diamond, or emerald, or whatever is a goal of significance for you. And you say, I am going to achieve this goal by March 1st, 2024. And if you sincerely put your heart into making this happen and allowing for this to happen, and you miss the goal, then you just move the timeline until the thing happens. And it's just an opportunity for you to revise your strategy, your approach, your mindset. But I actually, now that I've had a little bit more time to get out of both extremes where it's like, no, just go with the flow. Now I like a timeline. My intention is to make X amount of income in 2024. Why have I begun setting a timeline again? Because I was too loosey-goosey before. And now, if I set a goal with a timeline, and if you set a goal with a timeline, your mind is going to go to work on the strategy. So to make X amount of income, or to make this happen, this is what's going to have to take place. And it's going to apply more pressure on you, but there's good pressure and then there's bad pressure, right? We're not going there with the bad pressure. We're going with the pressure that feels good. Like, ooh, I'm working towards this. I want to hit this timeline. Number 5, make sure this is your soul's desire. Is this a goal that you actually want? Because if it's somebody else's goal, you're not going to have the energy to sustain it. Or you'll get there and you'll be like, okay, well, that's good. My husband wanted that. My wife or girlfriend, my mother, my spouse, whatever. My sponsor wanted this, but I didn't actually want it. So really, what do you desire? I desire to go to Iceland in 2024. I cannot tell you why. My soul desires it, and that's good enough. And I told my hubby, and he said, you can go by yourself because it's too freaking cold for me. He's like, I'm not going. And so I have a friend, Vanessa, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, let's go to Iceland. And so I keep sending her links about Iceland and like how the energy works and what causes the northern lights. Like it's happening in my head. I'm like, it's already happening, but it's my soul's desire. I don't need to explain why. And number 6, finally, is set the mood before you sit down to do this work. So don't set goals when you're upset or you're feeling crazy. Set some nice music, find a time, go for a run, take a bath, do a ritual, light a candle, find whatever works for you before you do this process. And then also know that you can do this in multiple steps. And this is actually what I've done. So I'm inviting you to do it today because it's almost the end of the year. But the reality is that you might need a little bit of time to think about and feel what it is that you actually desire. Okay, so goal setting areas, and again, I will be sharing the slides with you. There are different, you want a whole life. You're not just a being that exists in body, right? You also have health. This is your business, finances, spiritual, whatever that means for you, mental. So it could be mental health or it could be intellectual, lifestyle. On my list, I would have things like, I want to have a nice wardrobe. And today, look at my wardrobe, you guys. I'm just kidding. But I bought this super cute outfit in Amazon that I'm so proud of and that I love. But it used to be on my vision board. I wanted to be able to dress in a certain way, and I wanted to be able to have nice jewelry. And that was really, really important to me at a time when I didn't have money for extra things. Relationships. What are the things that you want in your relationships? What do you want to experience? What do you want to have? And then family. Family might be different from relationships, right? It could be friends, it could be, coworkers. So these are the different areas, and these are the questions that you're going to ask for each of these areas, okay? This is different, I believe, than what I see in most in traditional goal setting, which is, what do you want to achieve? I want to achieve this. I want to have this. And what I'm asking you to do differently, which is more holistic, is, let's take, for example, with body. How do I want to feel? How do I want to feel as a body partner? Who do I want to be when it comes to this area of my life? What do I want to achieve or accomplish? Or what do I want to experience? What do I want to have? I love this because what I've seen in the past with many, and this is something that I alluded to earlier, was that I've seen people say, like, I want to be a 5-star diamond coach. And that sounds great. And that's a wonderful goal. But what do you actually want to feel as a partner that is having success? Who are you going to have to step into? This is identity work when it comes to this area of your life. If you're not confident, it's going to be a harder journey. So who do you have to be? You have to be confident. You have to believe in the opportunity. You have to believe in the products. What do I want to achieve or accomplish? Easy question. I want to be a 5-star diamond partner, for example. What do I want to experience? I want to experience joy. I want to experience ease. I want to experience satisfaction. I want to experience accomplishment for a job well done. I want to experience exhilaration. What do I want to have? And this is where you can put a number if you want, or a kick-ass team. Okay. So based on these questions, then you create your soul goal. Then you write down your soul goal. I am a blank star diamond, or I make X amount per month, per year. I build a community of strong, empowered women. And you can make it more specific, of course. I'm not you, so I don't know what you desire. So in this slide, I gave an example, right? I feel relaxed, joyful, and enthusiastic in my body business. I'm a confident leader. We are a 5-star team. I make X amount of money. We're an elite team. I build a soul tribe community through social media. So I invite you to do this for every area of your life. And it's going to be a messy process, probably. And then once you've got a bunch of goals in each of the areas, I invite you to narrow down your top 10 goals. And you'll find that maybe this is a building phase for you in your life, or maybe not. Maybe you have top 3 health goals, and then comes body, or you have your top goal is a body goal, and then a financial goal, and then a health goal. Nothing is wrong. Everything's fine. It's what you desire. But when you narrow down your desires, your goals, your intentions to 10, it just becomes more manageable. Like, you're able to focus on those, but you're welcome to have a little bit more than that. But I think 10 is a great number, and having some kind of balance, a little bit of balance, whatever that means for you. Okay, at this point, you're ready to create a vision board. And this is super, super fun. And back in the day, I'm still all for making a a cardboard vision board and magazine cutting and all that stuff. My point is simply that now with Canva and digital everything, it's so much easier and and accessible to make a vision board in case you don't have magazines, but really you can do whatever you want. So when it comes to vision boards, what you want to do is, hold on a second, what's going on over here? Okay, I guess that's the last one. You want to find images that speak to you. There we are. You want to find images that speak to you. It could be symbols. Like, let's say you want, you desire to have, more spice in your marriage, and you want to put your vision board on the refrigerator, and you don't want the kids to see it. You could just put like a little symbol of a chili pepper, okay? And it's going to speak to you. Like, you know what that means. Nobody else has to know what that means. Or what you desire is to just be more open-hearted in 2024, you could just have a symbol of a heart. You want to use vivid images, you want to use numbers. Like, if there's a number, I remember when my intention was to make 7 figures in body. I had that number, what that would be for a weekly income everywhere around the house. And everybody freaking knew about it. We're not allowed to do stuff like that anymore, I guess, like to talk about it publicly. But I did that. And that was like a vision board, because my brain was like, that's what's happening, that's what's happening, that's what's happening. And my brain went to work. And so you create a beautiful vision board. I'm going to show you some templates in just a minute. There are so many and they're so easy to use. And once you create your vision board, your assignment is to look at it daily. You can have multiple vision boards. You can have one on your phone as a screensaver. You can have one in your refrigerator. You can have one on your notebook. You can have one in your office space. If you have office space, you can have one at your office. I mean, the more you spend time with your vision board, the better. And then finally, a vision board is just a vision board. And for me, it feeds obviously it feeds my desires, it feeds our desires, but then we have to take aligned action. So it's not like, sometimes things just do happen, sometimes things just happen, but I can tell you that building your body business doesn't just happen. It's going to have to be very intentional, very it has to be strategic. You have to put your heart in it. You have to have passion. And some things, yes, just magically happen and manifest, but you're going to have to put some action into it. So if I want Iceland to happen, and if I'm telling myself that Iceland is a reward for having achieved certain milestones in my business, see how I'm using it? The trip is a reward for me. So what are the things that I'm going to have to do and set into place so that I can say, oh, yeah, I earned this trip to Iceland. Okay, I'm going to share one more thing, and that is, I'm just going to show you the templates for Canva, and then I'll look in the comments to see if you've got anything. So all I did was, ooh, go ahead and mute yourself, guys. Somebody's unmuted. Okay, so all I did was look for vision board. I went to Canva. And I just typed vision board. Ah, you're seeing all my business. That's it. Okay. So, and for those of you, ooh, this is pretty. If for those of you who are not like Canva people, I'm just going to show you it. It'll take 1 second. And since my I like this one, I think I might use this one. Okay, since my obsession, as we can see my obsession, I've been talking about Iceland. I can't wait for you guys to see me with pictures in Iceland. I'm on Instagram in case you want to follow me. Barbie, what is my name on Instagram? I think it's Barbie.Kalev. Okay. All right. So this is Iceland. Look, I just move it over. That's it. Oh my God, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that. And then words, right? So I don't know how I could, hold on. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. Now I'm gonna get obsessed. I know myself, I get obsessed. Anyway, I'm gonna go in there and fix the word. There we go, hold on. I gotta do it in front of you because otherwise my little OCD-ness won't let me rest. Okay, all right, this is gonna be my vision board. Okay, so I can have a digital vision board. Look at that, it's happening already. Okay, all right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our vision board training. And I did it in good time, in about 35 minutes. So you are so welcome. My wish for you is that, number one, you have the most fun creating a vision board. The whole process of creating a vision board. And really, 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 my wish for you is that in 2024, this makes me emotional. I don't know why. I really hope that you enjoy your life and that you enjoy the process of bringing this vision board to life. Like, put it everywhere and be like, oh my goodness, I get to create this beautiful life for myself. And that you achieve all of your goals through body, through everything that you touch. Yes, you are so, so welcome. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead and share the Canva slides in the group. I'm going to go ahead and share the link to the vision board in the group so that you can have access to it. I want to really encourage you not to wait much longer because we want you to have it in your hands for the first. Then this is going to be posted in the Slay Squad 2023 group. All right. And